and hit, and then nothing.
Screen recorder. I just went and turned on the screen recorder, which is how we were able to get it to YouTube last week. So, all right.
Oh, right.
We have the screen recorder going. We have both boxes. We have Chipster here with us. I don't know, man. We're making progress.
I think it's all working out.
The worst thing that's going to happen is it won't work out.
Yeah.
So
Just cuts off and goes away.
So we were going to have Zach and Chipster on this evening, but they have a delay, a weather delay in their stuff that goes along with their bit. So, yes, we got it working, Chipster. We figured it out, man. We got it working. So it looks like that Thursday nights is going to be the night, and
Yep.
Ash and I are going to come on here, even if we're just talking to each other, and we're going to do that for a while until somebody tells us we should just stop it.
Hopefully, it's not my wife.
Right. Well,
Knock it
since
off.
you're doing so great and the room's full, Ash, I think I'm just going to dip on out over here. Well,
Oh man.
So yeah, man. The week in review. How's your week been?
It has been going. That's all I can say. It's been a little tedious at times, but it's been interesting at times. Like Tuesday was interesting, especially with the grid layout and everything.
Yeah.
But it's been good. Life's been good to me so far, as old Joe would say.
Yes. Well, we have some. I'm going to start booking guests again. So this coming week we'll have an actual guest. I'll let you know when I talk to him and get it all confirmed and everything. And then I'm going to start going ahead and booking the spot pieces as well. So when all that happens, Ash, those will be booked out. So you'll know for like 4 weeks or 6 weeks or however long who's going to be coming on. We'll probably keep that to ourselves because there's people that like to go follow those people and then harass them. But yeah, weird. But what you'll be privy to who's coming on and then what the schedule is for the guests, for the spot guests that'll be on, and then from there we're just gonna run with it, man.
That sounds good, man. I don't mind that at all.
So this is facetious. Have you been on the Gen Project show before? Have you been a guest on the Gen Project show before?
Who? Hey.
So how do we do this, man? How do we transition you straight to on the show?
No.
And you went right over the guest spot.
I think people are probably already sick of me, but I'm gonna hang out.
So how could you be the co-host and the guest? How do we work that out?
It sounds like I'm gonna do double the work there. I don't mind. I've got a motor mouth. I can talk.
Well, I saw you on the list to be on the Gen Project show as a featured guest, but now you're on there as the co-host. So I don't know what to do now, man.
I thought I was already on the show. We were just BSing the whole time I was on last time.
Yeah, we ain't gonna count that one, man. We're not counting that one. This is the new Ash Man.
Maybe we can bring back a certain woodworker and we can have a reunion.
Yes. I thought you were going to tell me I don't want to be on the damn show again.
You have to drive all the way back to his house and sleep under his bed again.
Yes, we're going to have to do all of that.
all over again.
Absolutely. Well, so I guess we'll get it figured out. But maybe what we should do is try to do some like, first thing I need. Hey, Zaxter, what's up, man? The first thing I've got to do is get stuff working. But I would like to do some live flow states from this platform and from the Big O one that you were talking about.
Yeah, Big O was interesting for sure.
And I might have to do that even if I don't get this stuff checked out, because I could do Big O from just my phone too, right?
Oh yeah, easily, yeah.
So and I think I could probably run regular TikTok from a laptop. I just can't run TikTok Studios.
TikTok Studios, yeah. Oh man,
Crazy.
that's something else.
Zaxter, that's the other thing, Ash. I mean, right now we could, and it wouldn't matter because it wouldn't cause a, there wouldn't be a crush at the door. But how are we gonna? I mean, normally we would bring Chipster and Zach up to do their bit at 8:30. So should we bring them up and just poke fun at them for a little while and then send them back down?
I don't know about Chip. Yeah, I would. I'd bring them both up. Yeah, if they want to come up. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're gonna send you an invite. You don't have to accept it if you don't want it. But we're just gonna see if it'll work. Like, this is what we would have done. Oh, it did! Holy shit! There's Zach, dude.
The fucking alien,
dude. Hey, man, I was serious business. I was working on the laptop with Wafty, and a message went across the top of my screen from Zach. Well, no kidding. My neighbor right down the street, a young guy, an electrician, a friend of mine who's Martin Guitar is here in the shop, is who I thought it was. So when I called you and I heard your voice, I was like, "Oh shit, it's the real Zach."
Yeah,
I didn't even look. I just pushed the button on my phone. So sorry for the weirdness. I was thrilled to hear from you. I just didn't expect your voice.
It was all good. I had ordered some stuff a couple weeks ago for this show, and it got delayed, and then it says it's not going to be here till tomorrow when it was supposed to be here on Monday. I was
My stuff got delayed too.
Dang it!
I had I have a 14-inch radius coming, so I can press frets into 14-inch radius fretboards that I have, and it got delayed. Weather.
So Congress is reintroducing the Pony Up Act for UPS and USPS to make them responsible financially and legally for late packages.
Heard that.
Yeah. So
they might actually
it's just getting ridiculous. It's getting beyond ridiculous.
Is that? Are we going to consider that constructive, or are we just giving up on them at this point? I've given up on them at this point.
I ship a lot, so I gotta depend on that. And,
I do too. From a small town, no less.
Yeah, same here. So I would appreciate some comeback. You know what I mean? Because then I can pass that along to my customers, who are the ones angry that stuff is running late.
I got you, man. I feel you. Luckily, I don't have to send as much stuff as you.
Yeah.
You send out a lot of stuff, man.
All these funky lights and reflective stuff. I found myself in a starship. Aliens came down. You guys don't have to worry, though. They're only taking people with big dicks.
I heard they were looking for girth. I heard it was girth they were looking for.
Then I should be beamed up soon.
Any minute now. Like a tuna can.
Right? Well, snub nose.
So Chipster must have dipped. I see. Yeah, Chipster must not be in here. Right on.
Yeah. I think after the TikTok, resurgence, a lot of people weren't that happy about Favorited with its flaws still, but I think if we stick it out, we'll be all right. I still stream on here while I'm flow stating.
Right. We were talking about that earlier, Zach, and I've been having, for the last 3 days, man, I've got a brand new gaming laptop. All I've tried to do is run TikTok Studios, and I get all the way to the point where I'm going to stream and it loses the camera. And when I try to go from like OBS or Streamlab or somewhere like that, same thing, lose the camera. You ever had that happen to you when you were trying to stream?
Only with permissions.
That's what
certain
that's
apps don't have permissions to run your camera in
The
your
last-
OS.
The last message I left with Wafty was, man, I swear it's got to be something with permission. So I'm glad to hear you say that, because where it happened was, like, I've downloaded and reloaded it like a dozen times, literally, because that was the fix. If you look up what the fix for the problem is, they're like, oh, download that and reload it, you know. But
yeah,
so I got all the way to the point one time where the camera was on, it was actually working, it was in portrait mode and it was working. And then it gave me the option, because what I really like to do is use my phone as my camera and then cast it to the web, you know, to the thing. And then I've got my camera around with me in the shop wherever I'm at. So, so when I did that, when I got to that step, that's when it all went sideways. I cast it to my phone, and my phone's got the message. And when I clicked on the link it sent me, it said, download TikTok. I was on TikTok.
Yeah.
On both of them, on the phone and on the laptop. And it told me I needed to download TikTok. So,
and here's a funnier thing is that we haven't got all of our permissions back for TikTok yet.
That would make sense.
After they shut everything down, we haven't got all of our permissions back.
It took a while for CapCut to come back on, and it took a while.
CapCut, you can't buy coins right now.
Yeah.
So it might be something on their end.
Yeah.
But and here's the weird thing, Wafty literally took it off his computer, loaded the version on the newest version, which is the one we were trying, you know, that I had downloaded the same version. We went through the same steps together. All his shit worked. So there's literally no, it's got to be in the permissions or something, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think so. So you need to check your accessibility. So like 10 years ago, you know, when people's cameras were getting hijacked left and right and they were getting spied on, all the operating systems started to mandate they took out all the camera backdoors.
Right.
So now every app that accesses your camera has to have permission.
Right on. Well, from where all the places that I can see that it asked me permission, I said it's okay, but there must be somewhere that still got the off switch going or something, and we just can't find it. But so
yeah, I just ran into a similar problem on TikTok today where I went to go screen record, and it wouldn't let me film the video and have the mic on at the same time. So you couldn't hear me in the screen record. You could hear everybody else.
That sounds useful.
That's real helpful. Real super helpful, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's always weird permissions, you know.
So let me ask you this. I was having a conversation with Chad. Ash and I were talking about this actually right before we came on. You know, Chad was hoping to multi-stream, and he was hoping that would save him some time, right? Being able to just do one live and it goes on to multiple platforms. But what I'm starting to see, and I'm checking with you here to make sure I understand it correctly, but there is a negative side to that. For example, if you use TikTok Studios, everyone I've talked to, including Ezra, says for some reason traffic is lower on TikTok Studios. Now, I understand anytime you bring somebody, like we were talking about, anytime you bring somebody in a box or anytime you change something, it affects the algorithm and affects the feed. Even if you have a bad connection, it'll meter how many people go to your live. I had that. That's why I got the Eros. That's why I have the Wi-Fi. I bought the Wi-Fi system and put it in the house to solve that problem.
Right.
So, and it did solve that problem. But when you get to when you actually get down in the kind of weeds of it, I don't know. Are you if you go on, say, Favorited or TikTok or whatever, and you are like this and you're talking right to the audience, it affects the algorithm in one way. If you are streaming it to the platform, it knows that, it's aware of that, and it meters kind of your traffic. So I don't know the answer to this, but what I said to him was, I don't know, man. I don't know what the trade off is, right? If you're streaming to 3 platforms and all 3 of those platforms are metering you because they know that you're streaming to them and you can't really interact with the chat, you're kind of losing the charm of what you do.
Right. So what I've done is to get around that is I've purchased and activated multiple cell phones. So every cell phone, I'm not using Wi-Fi.
I can't go buy more
I'm
cell
using
phones.
cell phones. I found used ones that are capable of 4G or 5G, and I just stream from the cell service itself, not from my Wi-Fi, and that way each connection stays strong and independent. It doesn't have the same IP address, and I don't have any issues. The biggest conflict that I have is that I'll be talking to somebody on one platform and other people over here are confused what I'm talking about, so I have to do it back and forth and explain that I'm talking to 2 different groups of people.
I got you. Right on.
But I found, dude, I jumped on like Facebook Marketplace, typed in cell phone and local, and found people that were selling cell phones. Went and bought it from them for $50 or $70.
Really?
And then adding another number to my cell plan was like $20 a month for unlimited everything.
Are you with Verizon by any chance? I'm kind of limited because I'm up in the mountains.
I'm with a smaller company called Viero. It's local to Southeast Colorado, but they work hand in hand with AT&T.
Right on.
And all their towers.
I got you. Heard that. Well, that's all useful information. Thank you, man. I knew you dealt with it some. I wasn't sure how much, but I knew you were also a guy that was in multiple platforms doing your damn thing.
It was the best idea I could think of. So without buying a really expensive computer and trying to do like I've seen professional streamers with badass setups, and I'm going, yeah, that's way fucking out of my league. Just managing that is over my head.
Well, I mean, the thought process was the phone, the Ultra 24, whatever the hell I've got, is $1,000, and the laptop was $1,000.
Yeah.
So so what you're saying is from there, build out just cheaper technology, get cheaper phones that are at least 4G or 5. I don't even have 5G where I'm at. So
Galaxy A13s are 5G phones, and they are cheap as fuck. Brand new, they're only like $100.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. And then just add a number. That might right on. So you would you would literally, so you got a stand with 2 or 3 phones on it is what you have. Like when you're doing that, you literally, he's got the same fucking ring light, man. We all got the same ring light.
Yeah. So I connect 2 or 3 phones up here.
Oh yeah. Nice.
And stream.
Now I really hate him, Ash, man. I knew I didn't like this son of a bitch.
Just because I'm a genius.
Well, the other thing that I was hoping is doing it through the laptop, I can run the music through it because I listen to music, during the feed, and people are having to listen to it through the TikTok speaker after it's been played through a Bluetooth speaker. So I thought it would improve the quality of the stream just to run it through a laptop, and then they can actually hear the music as I hear it. You know what I mean? For one, I'm literally just trying
to. I'm streaming on Clapper right now.
Right on. How do you feel about that platform? I've got a Clapper account.
So here's the funny thing is that I heard it was full of nasty, raunchy shit. There's an option in here that says, don't show me the not safe for work stuff, which of course I clicked, fuck off, I want to see them titties.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen any raunchy shit, but someone told me that's like really big on Clapper. A buddy of mine said, dude, give it a week of doing the same type of algorithm that you want on your TikTok. Look for art stuff, do hashtag art in your search, and start looking through those people. He said, as soon as you start liking, and you can dislike stuff, he said, give it a week, your algorithm will look just like TikTok. And I'm surprised to say it has.
Right on.
All I saw were truckers on there for the longest time. So, like,
But not only that,
suckers.
but right now, Clapper is looking for people to come over that are higher profile, not influencers, but people like you and me, where we've got kind of a following. We've got something interesting that people want to watch, and they're monetizing people right away.
Right on. Well, I'm on Clapper. I've been
Yeah.
on there for almost a year, but the only thing I ever used it for is when Shannon was going through her chemo
Then
treatments.
titties.
We would go over there and hang out with her during her chemo.
Yeah.
And then like my friend Painting at Tiffany's, who introduced me to a bunch of folks on here. She's over there, so every once in a while I'll pop in just to say hi, because she kind of gave up on TikTok and long ago. There's less restrictions on Clapper, and she's a smoker,
Yep.
so a toker, I should say. So she likes it better over there.
I got Clapper.
Yeah, so normally
they had a problem
Hey, Cat.
with TikTok. So it was like set up over there just in case it went under.
Heard that.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I started too. Well, also my friend was telling me, "Hey Zach, you do the perfect thing to get monetized right away," and they'll give you like a special badge, and that special badge, I'm working towards mine. I've contacted them, and they've contacted me back, but we haven't sorted out the details yet. But it puts you in the algorithm differently so that you're shown more.
Do we need to?
Because they're trying to build out different areas of their platform.
I mean, do we need to consider Clapper on our ledger of things to multi-stream too? Because that was another one that I'm set up on.
I would say so.
So here's my thought process, right? We Ash and I were talking about this, and the Gin Project show is we were doing it on TikTok because that's where its home has been. So we were going to kind of stick with that, and then my hope was eventually that I could multi-stream it to other platforms, like YouTube came up, because I have enough people. I've never used it, but I have enough. I have 90-something followers, so I can go live. And why not stream it there? Even if you couldn't interact with it, at least it would be, I ain't losing anything. So Clapper also would be, Clapper hasn't been taken off the board for me. It's just that, some of the
it's got a stigmata.
It does, but there's also some people that, if I'm being honest with you, that the two of you know that I don't necessarily jive with, that went over there immediately and are all over the place. So I just kind of stayed away just because I just kind of mind my own business. But So, but like you're saying, you can set the algorithm to whatever. So
So normally when I'm live on TikTok, I'm either streaming the Favorite It or I'm streaming the Clapper now.
That's what I'm trying to freaking do.
And just
buy another phone is what he tells me.
I'm letting it build naturally. Like I'm not investing any money in it or anything like that. I'm just letting it kind of go. My main focus is obviously TikTok, where I have a following. But if it starts to create some momentum, then hell yeah, it's all great. And I'm just going to do what I'm doing, which is I can't really split my energy any more than I already am.
Right.
So that's why the multi-streaming is I just have to do my work and people can watch me. And that's it. That's what I'm selling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me,
that's
because when I work, it's one piece for maybe 2 hours. So if I have to try and make one piece of artwork every 2 hours on different platforms, I'm never going to sleep. I'm just going to be working constantly. So that's hard.
Well, and the thing is, I've actually got service to 4 different phones, but I use one is like my business line. I don't use that for streaming. I could, but I don't. So it stays open. And then I've got my main phone here that I play around with. I've got this other phone that I just bought and activated that I play around with. And then I've got a 4th phone. And that's if I'm streaming on these 2, or I can stream on both of those and leave my main phone open so that I can make calls and stuff.
Yeah.
because I constantly have to shut down lives because I gotta call customers or customers calling or I've got to organize something for somebody. You know, I spend about 4 or 5 hours a day on the phone.
Some dude called me right in the middle of Big O. I don't know what he was thinking.
What an asshole. I'll tell you, if I knew who it was that did that to you, Ash, man, I'd really give him the business, man.
Yeah, I use multiple cell phones with their own service to stream multiple platforms.
I think that if you had the time, you might consider having a conversation with Chad, dude. I think that would be extremely helpful information for Chad. He's trying to figure out the same thing as me, and he's trying to figure out whether or not to buy a laptop. And he might be better off, instead of spending multiple hundreds of dollars on a laptop, just buying 2 cheap phones and doing it that way. I mean, that might be really the easiest way to do it and the cheaper way to do it.
You know, the funny thing, I was thinking about him earlier, and I meant to reach out to him just to say, "Hey, brother, hope everything's going good," and I spaced it. So yeah, I'll hit him up here in a bit and say, "Hey, man, hit me up."
Gin and I were talking about something that y'all talked to, because I talked to him a couple nights ago for about 5 hours, and part of the conversation was trying to figure some of this stuff out. So if you had the time and you had it in your heart, you might reach out to him and be like, "Hey, we were talking on the Low Orbit Lounge, and instead of you buying a laptop, you might consider going and getting a couple cheap phones." And that's how I do it, and it works great. And Gin's an idiot because
it does. It really does. Like I said, the only time it ever really gets confusing is when people are asking questions and I'm doing this and the people over here don't understand that I'm talking to these people and vice versa, you know?
Crow, thank you. Kat, thank you. Carolina, thank you. Great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Hey, Laura, how are you, Laura? I missed you there. Is it me, or on this app is the writing smaller?
It is.
Okay.
Hey, but I noticed there's a sound difference today.
Oh, the sound sucks.
No, it's better.
Oh, I got you. I was about to say, like, for people like Jason Woodward or somebody playing guitars, right on. So it's better than right now.
Voices are better. Yeah. Doesn't sound like it's an AM radio, you know?
Like a tin can,
Right on. Right on. Well, you still sound like an asshole to me, but what do I know?
You're what you eat, dick.
So yeah, man. That's part of what we've been trying to figure out. I'm glad that's encouraging new information though, because I was of the I'm gonna figure it out. I'll figure it out. It's in the permissions or something. We'll eventually, and I'll feel how stupid that I am. And that's the story of my life, right? There's nothing that I try to do that ever goes smoothly. It just technology wise, it just don't happen, man. I'm gonna have to overcome something.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, you know, there's never a convenient time for shitty things to happen, and life is just frustrating in general, you know? I take it.
Yeah. I think Ash had a topic of conversation related to that.
Wabi sabi, man. Like accepting mistakes.
Yeah.
And flaws, that sort of crap.
Put some gold in there.
You guys do woodworking, so you find flaws in what you're working in, you know, and sometimes you go with that piece that looks like that, you know. I know I find it in canvas, I find it in paper, you know, I find it in myself.
For a carpenter, there's always going to be flaws. There will always be flaws. A good carpenter just knows how to hide them.
Right. Well, yes, Carolina, this is a new show, the Low Orbit Lounge. Ash and I are going to do it every Thursday, and hopefully Chad will be able to return at some point. Zach here. And
I'm in my steam-powered spaceship.
Yeah, he is. Steam-powered spaceship. He looks like it, too. But Zach is going to be doing some bit pieces with Chip and some others. So yeah, Carolina, we're actually going to do some skits and have some fun over here. This is going to be more of a kind of after hours, after work type situation. Just as far as attitude or demeanor, or, you know, I'm not wearing a bunch of Gin Project stuff or whatever, you know.
Like you said, hanging out at the bar or the break room, you know, something like that, where you just kind of talking about everything and anything. So,
Yeah. And mixed in there, we're gonna have some little bits, and Ash and I'll put together some content eventually when we finally get our heads above water here. We've been scrambling the last couple of weeks just trying to make it happen. So,
but I don't drink anymore. Every time I drink, I wake up and my ass hurts.
Yes, I don't drink anymore either, hardly. I occasionally, everything. My problem is everything hurts. I just don't recover.
My friends are always trying to get me drunk. Come on, one more.
That's right.
I quit when hangovers took 3 days to get over.
Dude, that's the fucking truth. That is the fucking truth.
That I was 19, 20, or 30. I drank a fifth before we went out. That was like I was bartending and stuff. Oh, you drink a fifth before you even went out. Mm-hmm. Like we were drinkers.
Pre-game.
And I back all the way back when I was working on planes, man, we'd go drinking at 5 o'clock in the morning, then I'll be on the flight line at 7. You know what I mean? Like different time.
When it's easier to just stay drunk than get sober and have a hangover.
When you're 19, 20, something, you know. Now?
Yep.
Dude, I'll have 2
go to work and sweat it out.
I'm kind of like, I'm not feeling great.
Yep.
We're old guys.
That just sounds like it sucks. That's why I'll never have a drink again, because I remember what it feels like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, heard that.
The good doesn't outweigh the bad anymore.
You're sweaty, shaking, spinning. Yeah. Right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun for a lot of years. I'm not against it. I'm not anti whatever. I just can't do it. My body just doesn't process it well anymore.
Yeah, I put my time in. I'm good.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me a bit. Everyone can do what they want.
I drank so much Jim Beam overseas. When I got back to the States, I switched to Jack Daniels because I didn't want to have that smell or taste or whatever as a part of my life anymore.
Jim Beam anymore. I can't even take a whiff of Jim Beam anymore. That'll make me want to vomit.
We had ration cards, and I would have to borrow my buddy's ration cards by the end of the month. Because whiskey, coffee, and all that was whiskey, coffee, sugar, all that shit was rationed. You had a ration card for it. So literally, we would have to go get other people's ration cards that didn't drink.
Well, in the end, man, I'd get off work. I'd get a pint of vodka and a 30-pack of beer, and I'd chug the vodka so I could get a buzz, and then I'd just chill out on beer for 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
And it was just bad, man.
I was a whiskey guy. I would drink whiskey, and the beer would just be so I didn't drink the whiskey.
I loved whiskey. I just needed to cheaply get drunk.
Right.
The amount of money I don't spend on alcohol anymore is ridiculous.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, especially bartending, man. It was just you'd go to somebody else's bar and tip them huge, and they'd come to your bar and tip them huge, and you're basically just passing money back and forth. Nobody's getting ahead that way.
No, but the bars are making out like bandits.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just like TikTok, you know.
Absolutely.
We're circulating all the coins, but TikTok's the winner. They take half of what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's now I do now here's the other side of that coin though. The last whiskey that I drank was on Christmas. We were having Christmas dinner. And it was absolutely delicious. And I had one, and it lasted me about the 2 or 3 hours that I was there, because I like it just on the rock. So as the rocks melt, I still got a little bit of a drink kind of thing going on. So I had one, and it was delicious. And I could feel it. It was like, how did I used to drink 20 of these?
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
I was a Scotch man, but really expensive Scotch. And it got me high, you know.
Yeah.
It was fucking fun. Carolina's out of coins. Get out.
Oh, Carolina, you're awesome. Thank you for those. That's amazing, Carolina. Thank you. That's some of my first gifts ever. I also had to like how do you say it? Like I would reward myself. Like I still it didn't affect. I still worked hard, right? Like, but when I got done with the day's work or whatever, when I would make a highball. You know, I'd have a highball or whatever, and I might not always even finish it, but it was just a part of the process, right? It was a part of the thought process, even. And then I started realizing, man, I'm leaving my drink there. I'm not even drinking it. It's just habit now. So why don't maybe I just need to quit making them or whatever, you know? Thank you, Kat.
Yeah.
But I feel
you know what
man.
I was just thinking? You know, the Low Orbit Lounge, if everybody got it all set up, we could stream the Low Orbit Lounge on Favorited and Clapper at the same time.
Why not? Well, that's what we're trying.
Yeah.
That
seems like the kind of show that would be okay on both of those platforms for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. The problem is Favorited doesn't even have the key, the stream key yet. Do you have you can multi-stream Favorited already? Hey Chuck, are you able to multi-stream Favorited, Zach? Because we couldn't find a stream key. There's no stream key in Favorited to you know how YouTube and TikTok and all those, you got to have the stream key.
In my style, I can just load Favorited on one.
You don't need it. It's just on one of your phones. On the other. You don't have that problem at all. Yeah. And again, I'm gonna tell you,
so Zach. If you guys set it up, you know, if we set it up right, you know, Favorited, you invite me up, and then you invite me up on Clapper too, and then we're still doing the same show. We're just doing it multi-platform.
Yeah,
don't worry, Carolina. I don't even like looking in the mirror.
I got you, Carolina. Yeah, it's funny. Ezra left me a message the other day, kind of giving me the lowdown on some of the various platforms, and on one of them, he's like, you know, just don't take your shirt off. You can't really show skin. And I'm like, dude, like, do you really need to leave me that message? Do I look like the kind of dude that's just gonna start stripping shit off? Well, I don't drink anymore.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, Favorited. I could probably get away with my assless chaps while I'm carving. I haven't tried yet.
I do have a leather apron I could throw on.
There you go.
Cheap bastard, I have a wax one.
What's up, Chuck?
Chuck, man, good to see you, brother.
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, Chipster's back.
Yeah.
$20 is $20. Hell yeah, man.
Damn right. These days. So we are currently discussing how do we get this show on multiple platforms and other shows, and like the hiccups of technology, and why is it that I get put on a show with two guys that are super handsome and I'm over here with my oyster hat on?
Screen went black?
Uh-oh. Which screen?
Yeah.
I see you guys.
I see everybody. I think Chipster might be like linked into the mothership and it's glitching out or something. We have been having a hell of a time with technology, Chipster, for sure.
It was a little choppy when I first got in here, but it's been fine since.
Yeah, it was a little choppy when I first got in here too. It was I was actually 2 minutes past the hour getting it finally started up.
Yeah. I don't think I was worried. I was still running around.
I'm usually right on time too, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Favorited's gonna start changing up and
I can hear you all
and adding to.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping they come up with some decent options. And what's up, Chip? You know, make the platform something worth building on. You know what I mean? Instead of just a platform. You know, I'm waiting for that special something to come along. So I think it's definitely worth staying here instead of skipping town. But if we could find a way that everybody could dual stream, then we could put the show on, at least 2. We couldn't do the show on like TikTok, but even if you went 3, we could stream over to YouTube too. Yeah. Well, you can't do multi-guest on YouTube, can you?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. And Instagram's got too many restrictions. You can't do shit on Instagram.
I've never even tried it.
Instant Snooze is boring as hell too. I hate that.
Yeah.
He said Insta Snooze. Well, yeah, I think also that it would be helpful if we did content like maybe on Thursday that said, hey, we're going to be over there. I just literally ran out of time today. But in the future, that might be a strategy that we use too, is like on TikTok, put out a little piece of content saying we're going to be on Favorited. Because the thing is, that's the drawback on Favorited. You can't drop content saying you're going to be on. I think eventually you will be able to. They're working on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see if Granny Wormhole will do some TikTok videos about, come see the updates on Favorited.
Heard that. Let me see here, Chipster.
Pork Chop wants all up in your box.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it though. I click on his name. It says following, and then there's a little bit. It says revoke invite. He's already got an invite.
Oh.
I sent him an invite when he was in here earlier, and I think he was gone. He had left the room. You got an invite, Chip. You just got to accept it, buddy.
Yeah, you got to hit that multi-guest button.
Pending invites. You're still there, Chipster. All you got to do is accept it, bro. It's on your end, man. Just hit accept. You've had an invite since you've been in the room.
He's too good for our invite.
Yep.
I get it.
I tell you what, it don't show it? Okay, I tell you what, I'm going to revoke it and then send it again.
Yeah.
So I just revoked your invite, and now I'm inviting you as a guest. There it is. Now I'm going to kick you out again real quick just to see if I can. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no, I'm in your box now, buddy.
What the hell do you want, Chip? What the fuck do you want, man?
He just wanted to gobble you up.
I just wanted to slide into your box. That's all.
I heard that. Everybody wants to
fit in there.
Everybody wants to slide into my box, man. Everybody.
9 on this app.
So I'm going to have to give you a 0 for your skit today, your performance. It was lackluster at best, Chip.
His fault.
He gave us pertinent information.
Everybody started pointing at Zach. Zach's like, "What I do?" Dude's like, "What I do, bro?" No, Carolina. This is most decidedly not. This is totally the opposite of that, actually. This is a kind of hang out, relax, have a little fun. Zach and Chip are actually doing parts on the show. They just don't have everything they need in place yet to be able to do that. But they're going to be coming on this very show at 8:30, entertaining us, you might say. So, Carolina, we're
just reoccurring guests.
Yeah. Basically, we are actually producing a show that, and eventually it'll look more like a show. Right now, we're just having to bring idiots up and do the best we can. But
he's including me.
I was including me. And I'm wondering, where is this relationship now, Zach? I know that you and Kat came together, and then y'all had a little bit of y'all weren't married for a while, and now you are married again.
Well, I thought we were still a thing, but she apparently had a huge problem with me having a girlfriend, and was like, "What? I'm your side piece. Why can't I?"
She apparently had a problem with me being married. I love it.
Gall, man.
But I think if we did exactly what you're saying, Zach, if we kind of work together on maybe some different coordinations on these different platforms here and there, even if it's only once a week or something, you know what I mean? I know we're all really busy, but
Yeah.
and then also we could drop content saying, hey, come check out the Low Orbit Lounge over on Favorited. I mean, there's 8 of us in here, and I think that's amazing, dude. And I would come in every week to hang out with the exact people with you, except for Chip. But other than Chip, I would come and hang out with all of y'all. Chip, I would need twice a week, not just once a week. I need him twice. But the rest of y'all, I'm good with just once a week. You thought I was going somewhere else, didn't you, Chip?
There's a whole lot there to love.
You thought I was going somewhere else, didn't you, Chip? You thought I was going to somewhere else, didn't you, little guy? So yeah. But I think it has potential, man. And like you're saying, I am absolutely not opposed to Clapper. It's just that I could only focus so many places. We do have an account there, and that would be the perfect type of thing like you and I were talking about, Ash, I believe, where we just stream it there, like Zach was saying. Just stream it to it, because you don't have a presence there anyway, so you're not going to lose anything on that if you're metered or you've got less traffic or whatever. It doesn't matter. You wouldn't be there anyway.
Right.
Are you going to try to multi-stream some, Chip?
I can try.
No, well, I mean, did you have plans to try to be on multiple platforms? I say multi-stream. That's the wrong term. Did you plan on doing lives and content and stuff from multiple different platforms?
I'm on a bunch of the different platforms. I mean, I hadn't really made, but I'm on there. I mean, it wouldn't be nothing for me. I can make content. That ain't no problem.
Right on. I just meant what your plan was, if you had some stuff in the works or.
So for me, the only reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, yeah, I'm only building up Favorited and Clapper specifically for this show. Other than that, there's no real interest in there. So if I can get a following on both of those, then hopefully when it comes to the show, we're going to be bringing more people in, which I think is going to help make it successful. Even though I'm just a guest on the show,
it's your show too.
Investing into it.
Yes, no, you're not just a guest. You're part of the show. I mean, it's your show too, right? This ain't. Yeah. Nobody owns this motherfucker. This is all of us trying to I just happen to be the pretty one, but
Right. I'm saying this is your guys' baby. I'm just doing what I can to hopefully support it and help build it up.
Heard that. Well, I see it as your baby too, though, brother. I see it as all of us trying to figure this shit out. Really. And
I ain't fucking with you aliens no more.
Right? No kidding. But that was my sense, is to have a presence on the platform, right? And this is a fun way to do that. And my hope was there wouldn't be a whole lot of extra work, that we could just come over here and kind of do our thing. There will be some work. I mean, Ash and I'll have to talk. We'll have topics, and we'll have some little skits and little bits and stuff that we do as well. Most likely over the course of time.
I'm still looking forward to fucking around.
But see, that's the thing, man. Is I mean this with all sincerity. I think we all work our asses off. I think all of us do. We have that in common. And I really, truly get very little time just to have fun. I mean, luckily, what I do for a living is incredibly fun. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of fun just doing what I do. But to actually be able to just do this, just chill with my buddies, and just kind of think about it on a different level. Maybe don't be afraid to swear now and then, or maybe some topics we can talk about that we wouldn't normally talk about. So I think it could be.
I just feel blessed that Ashman can take fucking time out of his modeling career to come and hang out with us.
Right? I'm serious. I mean,
I had to push off Milan just for this. So
I bet you were one of those baby Abercrombie babies, huh?
Hey,
Like you're sitting outside the store.
hey, Zach, I can be persuasive.
I'm not doing that again.
So, but yeah, man, I think that all fits within what we're all trying to do, which is that also helps to grow the community. It gives people various places. If you're not comfortable in this place or you don't like TikTok, well, cool, you can kick it with us on Favorite. If you don't like it over there, I really think Big O has some potential in it too. I haven't done a live there yet because I've been fucking around with this damn computer, but I think it has some potential too. It's much more cleaner kind of platform that really has some neat community building type stuff in it. So I think that's
there, Zach, have you been on Big O?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
What's Big O?
It's an app.
About like this.
Big O is another app that Ezra is involved with.
After?
Yes, that's the ending part.
I walked into
Big O is Ezra is involved with that app and has been for some years. And here recently he became an agent over there too. But it was more like it's more like truly a social platform for doing stuff. But I think on one hand they're kind of modifying what they do to make room for TikTokers and that kind of content creator. And Ash and I are now a host over there already. They have an application process. Normally you would need to do a video, talk about what it is that you do, explain why that you should be on their platform, all of that shit. They waived all that for right now. It's kind of like Zach was talking about. Some of these platforms are wanting some creators that at least have a small following or have content that they feel like might get a following, which I guess is us, all of us. So
yeah.
So now the other side of it is it might be like you got to do, and I know it's broken into instrument. You might have to do like 30 hours a month, and you can only do 2 hours at a time. You know what I mean? But the thing that they reward over there is a consistent schedule. They even got like basically a TV guide. Hey, this is the times these people are going to be live, and they've got like low hours, like. If you're willing to do it during that time, there's incentives, and they have a tiered payment schedule. So it has to do with, and I don't know all of it, and this is probably way oversimplification, but on one side is the hours you put in, the other side is the gifts that you get. Those two things get calculated somehow and put you in a tier system. And whatever tier you end up on, to what I understand, everybody in that tier equally chops up whatever money is in that tier. So it is literally designed to start paying people for content. Did I get that even close, Ash?
You explained it better than I could have. I was like listening and going, oh yeah, right.
Well, I'm a damn genius. All I did was parrot what Ezra told me.
Yeah.
So
I think we got a good chance of it grow. I think with everybody make content for it. I think we'll do good with it.
I think so too. I mean, literally, man. There's 9 folks in here. I know a few of them are us, and I know that everybody in the chat's our friends. But that's the point. That's what we wanted to happen, right? We want to be able to just hang out with our friends and do our thing, and then hopefully other people would kind of come across that and be like, "Oh, this is kind of fun," and it's just growing audiences in different areas too. Like, you know, Chad, for example, Chad and I have different audiences. They overlap a lot. This guy, you remember Fraggle Rock? Y'all ever watch Fraggle Rock?
Did we establish a P corner in this room yet?
It's right behind you. Right behind you. Just turn around 180 degrees, let it rip. You're good. So yeah, it seems like that if we all, you know, at least we're kind of trying to row in the same direction, that it would be like cross-pollination, right? the people that like the favorited vibe would hang out over there. The people that like the clapper vibe would hang out over there. The people that like the TikTok vibe would hang out over there. The bigger, and some of them, like those of us that are gluttons for punishment, would be on multiple. Now I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to rob a T-Mobile or some shit. Send my damn laptop back and get 47 phones. Now I'm gonna keep the laptop. I like it, but I wasn't. The thing about it is, for me, I wasn't so interested in multi-streaming, other than I was trying to accomplish what y'all were talking about. We are limited on our time, and there's almost no way to make more of the time. So whatever we're doing has to be able to go on multiple things. Is the only way I know to navigate it. Like, same thing with Zach. I think we're in a very similar boat in that we have clients that sometimes we got to talk to. Sometimes I have people in my shop that aren't necessarily going to want to be on camera or aren't necessarily, and that's not that often, but it happens. And then there's other projects, like if I'm working on something, it isn't always for some rock star. Sometimes I'm simply working on something that's like a birthday gift, and you can't show it, or people will know.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't always that it's like some big name that you can't show. A lot of times it's just like courtesy, right? You're making a gift for somebody, and you don't want them to see it. Now, there's less of that going on for me now because I've converted over into this thing. But I'd imagine that's a lot of what you have going on, right, Zach?
Yeah, that's what shuts my lives down. Half of the day is I got to knock something out that's for, a gift. And I am not sure who follows me and who doesn't. So
right.
It's best kept secret.
Yeah. Yep. Same kind of thing, man.
He did that a while back. He made a piece for somebody he couldn't go live.
Was that your piece?
It happens all the time.
Did you end up with a piece, Chip?
No,
Not yet.
Zach made a piece for somebody, and
I was just wondering if you were somebody. I think you're somebody. I think you're somebody. So if he was going to make one for somebody, it should be for you.
I'm nobody.
The difference, Kat, is that the tablets have to stream off of Wi-Fi. Phones, I'm talking about, you just use your cell service so that it runs off of a different IP address. That won't get you flagged in the algorithm on the apps.
This fucking guy right here, I tell you, this guy.
This fucking guy.
So
he's a genius. He's a closet genius.
and I
just fix it.
I just fix it. And I think that I don't know. To me, that's a smart approach, because not only does it go for different demographics, it also goes for kind of different vibes, right?
Yeah.
I think it seems like the favorited vibe and the clapper vibe are similar. Like you can just be more. You can be more loose with your language and a little, and the smoking and the whatever. Where, TikTok's limitations, if you really want to think about it critically, in my opinion, also sometimes are helpful.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to keep it like fifth grade, the fact that you need to kind of make sure that you're careful with, it almost, if you're trying to put on a professional product, it almost makes it easier because it eliminates some stuff that you would have to worry about, like on this platform.
Yeah.
Right. So it's give and take.
I think it also creates a safer environment for people to really open up and be themselves.
That's the key. That's what we're trying to do. Personally, I love the collaborations, and we lost Chip. I love the collaborations, and I love all the idea that people would be willing to row in the same direction and all that kind of thing. You know what I mean? I think we really get somewhere helping each other out that way. And then it's not just some self-fulfilling loop. We got to be able to get people in from outside, because we can't just buy art from each other. Nobody will get there. Nobody gets anywhere that way. It would be wonderful, but we'll go broke trying to buy art from each other and support each other's art careers. We need to be able to have a production that will draw in other people And they're like, and I believe, I could be wrong, but I think they're like, oh man, these guys are actually personable. They're actually reasonable people. Oh, and they do cool work. So maybe I'd be more interested in buying something from them than I would from IKEA or from Walmart or from wherever. You know, so I don't know. Maybe it's all pie in the sky shit, but
it's worth trying, right?
Got to figure it out.
yeah.
So we're already investing our time into an app. We've decided that that's going to be our future. But if we can do it to multiple apps, just for doing the work that we do,
Yeah.
that we already do,
Yeah.
you know, it's just another revenue stream.
Yes.
It's a way to branch out, and it could potentially actually be worth something someday. So I was telling you on the phone, you know, I had to grind really hard to get my name out there, you know, and personally put myself physically in front of people for years before I was recognized and remembered.
Yeah.
That's all I see us doing on social media right now is we're just grinding through it until it starts to get easier and we start to get recognized and remembered.
Yeah.
Right on. Just got offered to be on the Worldwide Google Art Gallery. Right on, Cat. You make some dope ass art. There's no doubt, Cat.
Hell yeah.
Chuck, saving up now to do mass buying of art. Heard that, Chuck. And Chipster, it was secretly me. I'm secretly the one that just keeps kicking you out, man. It's really me. See, my hands are right here kicking you out.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
Cat.
Cat.
Way up inside his balls, and it was uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. I've
got Ashman right in my bosom.
Oh boy. Oh boy. But I do think I think on a 10,000 foot level, I think that as the future unfolds, more and more business is going to be done on social media. I think it is a way for us to cut out the middleman. It's a way for us to cut out a lot of people. Governments, big corporations, all of that stuff. Like we were saying, before on another show, there are a lot of actors. There are a lot of different opportunities or platforms or whatever, but the reality is what we're able to do right here and now is dangerous. Us being able to plan together and to put together stuff. I mean, I can see this growing into we're able to all show up at events, right? There's an event going on somewhere. And what I would like to do, like last year, I actually met some people in person. I actually got on a plane and flew. I got in my truck and drove. And we're going to do more of that this year. I'm hoping that I actually get to meet Chad this year at some point. That would be dope. But I would like to go that next evolution to where we have a presence on these various social media platforms, and that allows us to be like, hey, we're going to be in whatever. We're going to be in Arizona at Ash's place on such and such a date.
Hey, and you think if we get famous, people are going to look into my past?
I hope not.
I might not want to be here.
Almost everybody that I deal with has a past, bro. Almost everybody that I deal with has either been in jail or has, on their third wife or whatever. Rule! What up?
Yeah, he's been here.
BT! I missed you, Rule. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were in here. Hey, BT, I'm sorry if I missed you. Is that BT or my eyes not? Sorry, man. Let me see here. Yeah, that's BT Airbrushing. What's up, BT? Thanks for stopping in. Good to see y'all. How's the bonsai again? Let me go get it for you, Rue. I think it's doing good. We've been babysitting. So, I got a flashlight so you'll be able to see here. But right here in this area was the spider mites. And
I thought he said he had a flashlight. I was going to see what brand.
Oh, man, this thing is dynamite, dude.
He missed it.
Yeah, but where do you put your deck in?
I don't have one. I'm a eunuch. What do you think, Rule? It's looking pretty good. This one little crispy tip is the only one that got damaged, really. So we're still doing the neem oil, and I'm watering it and then neem oiling it every day. So I think we got them under control, man.
Perfect timing, Eve.
Hey, look right here, Eve. Look right here, Eve. I'm so glad to see you give us a try, Eve. That was an interesting discussion, too. There are folks out there that are in recovery that some of the platforms aren't good for them because of what people are doing on the platforms. So I know that, like we were talking earlier about, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of mental health, there's a high incidence rate of mental health needs among artists. It's kind of natural, right? It's kind of a natural thing. Art is an outlet for some of that stuff. And so that's the other consideration, right? Like on the 10,000 foot level, there's platforms that there's a whole variety of reasons that people may or may not want to use. You know what I mean? So I would be inclined to try to have something that's worth watching on each of them, and then from there mix in flow states or whatever. And sometimes we could team up and do flow states or dip in and out. It's like the kind of the lives that Zach runs are awesome. I couldn't do it though. It's just too much. It's like there's too many people. There's too much stuff going on. My brain would never actually focus on woodworking. I would just be, I like you two. And if y'all were in a box when I was working in the shop and y'all were actually working on stuff too, we would eventually find like a rhythm. Like we would figure out each other enough to know like who needs what and all of that kind of thing, right? But it takes time and effort to work through all that stuff. And I think that's another thing a lot of folks don't often necessarily think about is it isn't so simple as just turning the camera on. Like if you want it to go well, if you want to make progress and be successful at it, some thought has to go into what you're going to do once the camera's on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not going to be able to get by forever with Ashman being sexy and Zach being a fool. That, like, you know what I mean? Just like, plus I don't trust nobody. Heard that, Eve? Yeah, Eve don't trust nobody. Well, Eve trusts me. Eve, she won't admit this, but she trusts me. I have her phone number. She must trust me.
Oh wow.
I actually get to talk. I get to talk to Eve without protection. She said, "You think so?" Well, don't then, Eve. See how far that gets you. Good luck with that. She's in saran wrap during her calls. Me too, Eve. Me too. I just dip myself in wax first. I just take a hot wax bath before I call Eve.
Got her burner number.
Yeah. I go to Walmart and get a phone to call Eve. But so that's the other thing is finding a rhythm is what I would call it, right? There's a rhythm that you kind of got to have. For me, when I'm not buried in technology and TikTok getting shut down, I'm not on the phone trying to figure out, like on a regular routine, I would get up, I'd come down to the shop, I'd set things up, I'd decide what I'm going to be working on, and then I hit live. And usually folks like Eve or Laura or Chuck or Chip or you guys or whoever shows up. And because of that familiarity now, over time, my brain will go ahead and and do what I need to do at work, and I won't feel obligated to tend to the chat or tend to this other thing that's going on in my brain.
The last time I was I did my first live in over like 4 or 5 months, like this week.
I saw you.
I thought
I saw
was
that.
gonna,
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna just blow it, not know what the hell I was doing or whatever. And everybody came through, and I knew who they were, and we all hung out. It was just like
Yep.
normal, and it was just awesome. It was great to
Awesome.
see
Yep.
everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, for me,
Coming
when I
back.
started doing my lives like that, people just got used to taking over the show while I did my thing. So I could listen to what everybody was saying. I could pipe in when I wanted to or when someone needed my attention, but I could just stay working and everybody else kind of interacted with the chat and let
Yeah.
me know if there was someone trying to get my attention or whatever. So mine started like that and that's just grown from there. And that's why I'm capable of accomplishing my goals while I'm doing it. It's because I have the help of so many people that are used to it.
Yeah, I mean, my mods absolutely 100% do that. The problem with me is my brain. Like, if I have people in boxes, my brain knows that they're in boxes, and there's a certain important portion of me that wants to attend to that, or wants to be respectful of that, or considerate of that, or whatever it is. Whereas you're right, like just the people that are
That's why
involved,
I'm the leader, Eve.
the mods,
I'm the leader because I delegate the work.
or
I
that.
lead by example.
You mean like putting people on your show in spot bits and things like that? That type of delegation? You mean like having Eve on as a spot person and having Zach on as a spot person and having Rule on as a spot person? That kind of thing?
Yeah, I get like 8 other people in there and say, pay fucking attention while I go screw off over here. I got phone
well,
calls to make.
well, that's the other thing. That's like, and that's another differentiation, right? Like what Zach does, I would consider a flow state with guests. It's not a produced show. It isn't like the Gen Project show, or even this show is going to be somewhat produced because we'll come up with skits and we'll figure out who's going to be on and make sure all that's coordinated ahead of time, and then that way when we do the show, things hopefully go smoothly. Like I had a conversation last night with Haley Beth about improving the introduction. About hey, we got to get better. We got to make sure that. If we're going to be introducing a show, we got to understand, like you're saying the same thing every week, so we got to practice. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a Eve was tapping the screen. There's no tapping over here, Eve. So there's all these nuances, right? Of like what Haley needs is a totally different thing than what Ash would need, or what Zach would need, or what I would need. So. The cross promotion thing, I think, not only are we trying to do that now among each other on TikTok, all we're trying to do is expand that to other platforms. So now the cross promotion isn't just us posting stuff about each other on one platform, it's us talking about each other on multiple platforms.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I just got to run inside real quick.
Okay, mothership. Hey, kick him out, Zach. Kick him out, Ash. Kick him, man. Oh, okay. So that's the other thing we got to figure out. There's a way to set up moderators in this.
No, don't do anything funny to my box while I'm gone.
We're gonna do all kinds of stuff to your box while you're gone. All kinds of stuff. So that's the other thing we got to figure out, Ash. I think is like we obviously got to make you a mod for this particular. Deal.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit on that wheel thing, and I saw a thing where it talked about stream moderators. So now I'm going to type in Ash. It's A period. S.
I think it's just ASH.
Oh, on here. Okay.
Yeah.
And the M is capitalized, and it's all like one word, right?
I think it's just Ashman without any capitalizations.
Okay.
This platform.
All one word, or is there a space?
All one word, yeah. Ashman in Glendale.
Okay, Ashman in. What is on the screen right now? Can you see me, or is it black?
I can see it.
Right on. Oh, shit. Well, it's saying no moderators were found. How do I make you a moderator, though? Stream moderator. Oh, plus, there's add moderators. Okay, now maybe we search. Ash. Man, oh, some names are coming up now. Ashman of in Glendale. Let me see here, buddy. Let me see here. I hit a plus sign. Did anything happen on your end?
Nothing happened over here yet.
You got
It
a
might
check.
be after I get off of here.
You got a check mark next to your name now.
Oh, okay.
You are now a mod. Let's see if that works.
Nice.
Now you're on the list. Government knows who you are.
I think that made you a mod. Can you tell any difference on your end? Can you do anything over there? Getting jiggy with Zach's box. That is right, Eve. Hey, Wafty! Wafty, the consensus from Zach, the way Zach handles the problem that we've been dealing with, Zach uses 3 or 4 different phones and he just streams from the platform itself. So each one of them has a different ID and he doesn't have the metering problem or any of that stuff. But it does seem like to him as well and to Ashman that is potentially in the permissions area or realm. All right. So, Ashman, are you able to do any cool things with your new powers?
Yeah, I'm checking. I can't find anything interesting to do yet.
Okay. Can you throw me out, or can you?
I was trying to like look for things on. The
You can
list.
throw me out. I used to be in garbage.
Chuck him.
Yeah, I can't.
Chuck him. All right. Stream moderators. Let me see here. Boom, and then we're going to go. I wonder how many you can have.
I don't know. Good question.
All right, Chuck. Let's see. Can you do anything now, Chuck? You should be a mod now. Please, for the love of God. No, I'm about to make you a mod too.
I can kick Eve out if I want.
Sucker.
I can put you in timeout. I can ban you, or I can kick you out.
That's it. That's your options. Get to kicking. All right. We're learning some stuff here, guys.
I've got candy.
Okay, kid. You got a van? A van with no windows?
There's popsicles down there. You want to see?
Oh, shit. What happened? Oh, man. Man, no, that's not it. I'm just adding mod. Hey, adding mods seems to be working, so I'm going to do it. All right, Lofty, you should now be able to push buttons and screw things up on this computer if you would like to. Let me see here. I don't know how many you can have over here, so I'm just going to keep doing it for a little while. Why not?
Hold the mute button.
You hold the mute button? Rule Gardens. All right, Rule Gardens. You should have newfound power. Don't let it go to your head. Eve's artistry.
Don't give me any power. I'm terrible at pushing buttons on this app.
I'm going down the list of people that are already mods for me, actually. Ashman, you had a topic for today, didn't you?
Oh, yep.
Did we ever get to that?
No, not really. It got buried in the other conversations.
Well, let's do it, man. Let's do it. I thought that was a good idea. Eve.
Hey, I'm actually going to drop out. I got to get back to work before it gets too much later. I got loud noises to make.
Right on, brother. Well, thanks for popping in, man. Thanks for not doing your damn skit, man. I appreciate it.
We had a much better conversation.
I've got something for you, Zach. I've got something here for you.
Is it the dunce cap?
Next time, be prepared. He's gonna pull out the fuck you, get. All right, brother.
All right. I'll see you guys later. Thanks, everybody.
Later, man. Appreciate you, dude. Hey, Ash.
Hey.
I like this, man. We're figuring out stuff. We're pushing co-host buttons and
it's nice to know what the hell we're doing.
As far as I know, is there anybody? Oh, Cat! Holy shit, Cat! Come here. You try to sneak away. You better come here, Cat. You ain't getting away. You ain't getting away, Cat. I see you. You're a mod too. You might not like it, but you're a mod too. Let me see here. Cat. All right. All right. Cat Art, you should be able to push some buttons. Who we met? We got to get Chipster up in there too, don't we? And Zach. I hadn't hit them yet. I don't know how many will let you have, but we'll find out.
Yeah. Just go until you can't.
Let me see here. Chip. Is Chip 76 on this one still, right? Nope, it's not showing up. Let me go back and look. What are you in here as, Chip?
I think he's Chipster, right?
I think so, yeah. I think that's where I messed up. Where you at, you little son of a bitch? It's been a while since he commented. Oh, you can only go so far back in your feed, too. It ain't like... Yeah. Chip, if you're still in here, say something. Dirty, what's up, Dirty? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Ashman came up with a topic for us. We've been kind of rambling on social media stuff and pushing buttons and making mods and all of that. And Ash had a topic for us to hit on before we ran out. How's it going, Dirty? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for stopping in.
Well, we've been learning, which is important, because Mr. Zach had a bunch of ideas that we hadn't thought of, so that was pretty good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, my idea today was wabi-sabi, kind of weird stuff we find in our art that we make it interesting. Like it draws it out, like you find cool stuff in the wood and, patterns, that sort of thing, which, all the burling and stuff like that is beautiful, but they're kind of imperfections, right? You make
right.
them,
yes.
Make them interesting.
Well,
and yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. That the barnwood, taking down the barnwood. One of the things that was so appealing to that when I first started was this old ass barn had been weathered, and it was partially coming down, so there were bows in some of the like from heat and time and pressure, and some of those made really cool things. And then the trees that I mill up are trees that have gone down in storms or had to come down for whatever reason, and generally they have problems. And so that's the type of stuff I like to make. Like most furniture makers would be looking for straight, clear, straight grain wood, and I was looking for not that.
Yeah, and you find like the beauty in the ugly or the strange.
I mean, we have to, Ash. We have to.
I know. I look in the mirror every day and I go, okay, this has got to be all right with me. But what I was getting to was I have something in my house which my wife absolutely doesn't like, but this is what she has that I can't stand. For some reason, she finds this to be particularly interesting, loves it to death.
Your wife?
Yeah, she loves that thing.
It's creepy as hell, but you better keep it. That shit's creepy, man.
I know. I can't stand the damn thing.
It's creepy, bro.
There's the beauty in it. But what does that say about me?
You love your wife. You love your wife. I'd keep it. You better keep it. Otherwise, you would be a.
Oh, they want to show it again.
That thing's creepy, bro. I'm sorry.
Isn't it? Look at the damn buggy eyes.
Look at the mouth. The mouth is the creepiest thing of all. What is that? What is going on there?
I could kick back, not have to worry about my hair every day, and just put this in the box.
He looks wired. Dirty said he looks geeked up. He does. I'm okay. What? What do you mean?
Radio.
What do you mean? I'm not anxious. What do you mean?
He's gonna take everything apart in the house before the night's over.
He's tweaking.
With tomorrow. I'll put it back together tomorrow.
Don't remember how he took it apart. Don't remember taking it apart.
Yeah, so we all have that damn thing, though, don't we? That the other person's like, oh, okay, I guess. I guess you can have it.
Yeah, for me, it probably has to do with pirates and crows and skulls and short trip off the tall table. So, what does the mod thing actually do over here? So all you can what the is that Che? What the hell you got there, man? What does it say on his hat?
Larry.
Larry.
His name is Crazy Larry. That's what I named him.
Crazy Larry.
That's my
That is definitely a guilty pleasure. That dude is creepy as hell too. Yeah, Cat, I believe that.
I think it's off of Frank Zappa album, if I remember right. It's like an illustration for Frank Zappa.
That's
no way. Crazy Larry is awesome. You don't understand.
That's worse than the gnome, she said. That's funny. Crack Larry. I love it. I agree. Kat said she tells everyone that brings dolls in to sell at her antique store that they got to put them where she can't see them. I can't have your doll sitting there staring me down. I hear you, Kat. That's funny as shit. That's funny, Kat.
Yeah. Oh man, when my wife's mom passed, she left her a bunch of dolls, and I was like, "You don't want those, right?" And she's like, "No."
No.
Those gotta go
in a box, at least in the attic or something.
Yeah. You can't be looking at that. Those bobbleheads creep you out.
Yeah, dolls are creepy, man. They are creepy.
They are.
Especially, remember those old school plastic ones that when you lay them down, their eyes would close, and you sit them up, their eyes would open? You know the ones I'm talking about, the baby dolls?
And then maybe one wouldn't.
Yes, dude. Oh my God. That's the creepy shit, man. My mom, when I was a kid, a friend of hers was a crafter, and she made me a Raggedy Ann and Andy doll that were like 3 feet tall. They were beautiful. I mean, they were made by hand from scratch. But my mom put them in the room, like sitting next to each other, like, you know. I had to put them in my closet, man. I was like, I can't have these some bitches looking. I was just a little kid. I was like, they're staring at me all the time. Yep.
No way that's staying there.
No, I put them in the closet. They had to go in the closet. It's safer there.
Oh man.
Yeah, like that.
You guys down in the box have anything weird that you like, or what? That your significant other doesn't like? Because man, I collect all kinds of weird shit. So it's.
I've always liked skulls, like imagery of skulls. I don't know why. I've always just liked imagery with skulls in them. You can't tell, but behind all of this artwork is a big Jolly Roger flag. Oh, I don't have anything cool like that, Ash. I have like a cat skull and a gopher skull and stuff that I've collected out here in my yard. Or barns that I was taking down. Possum skulls, stuff like that. I don't have a cool human head though. My buddy at the antique store was telling me a story one time about somebody. He bought a human head from somebody one time. Then he had to deal with a whole bunch of stuff from the government because he had a human head.
There's a lot of paperwork.
It ended up being he said it was almost as bad as having bald eagle feathers. Like, where'd you get them feathers from, boy? Where'd you get them feathers from? A bald eagle, man. Loaned them to me.
Yeah. As they do.
Yeah, Cat. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't. He also doesn't sell guns at his antique store, Cat. For a lot of reasons, I guess. You can't either. Heard that. Yeah, that's wild, man. There's a lot of things like that, right? That I don't know. I like skulls, but you don't get caught with one. You know what I mean? Like that duality. Yeah, they're cool, but don't collect them. It's evidence.
Oh man. But yeah, no, there's just weird stuff. Oh yeah, selling furs to people. Yeah, they get pissed. Yeah.
I found a human eye in a clear jar one time. Holy crap!
I know. I wanted to say that. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, people get mad about the furs. Every once in a while, my buddy Rick will get a taxidermy item in, and there's people that get upset about that.
Oh man.
Everybody's got a thing.
But the eye, how did somebody just happen to find a human eye in a jar? That's interesting.
I don't know. You know, that is interesting because I've had some things cut off of my ankle and cut out and bone grafts and all that done and teeth pulled and all kinds of shit. And they wouldn't let me have my leftover parts, the screws, the nothing. They won't give that stuff back to you.
Yeah, you see that in movies and television shows all the time. Oh, I've got it in a jar.
Yeah. They wouldn't give it to me. They refused. Sorry, sir, we can't do that. Well, why not? It's mine. You're literally cutting it off of me.
Oh, man.
No bueno, they said.
No bueno.
I've recovered.
Yeah, I think we all find weird shit.
Oh, heard that, Dirty. You've recovered many bodies. Yeah, Wafty's had to do that a lot, too. That's wild. Did I seriously ask? Yes, I did. When they took the hardware out of my leg, I asked for it, and they said no. When I actually, when I was a kid, I had braces for 4 years on my teeth. They pulled teeth. They were all messed up. They pulled teeth, and then they put braces on. Then I had a retainer for years, and then I got all that shit off. Graduated high school, went in the military, and my wisdom teeth came in and pushed everything around. But a couple years ago, my wisdom teeth finally were causing problems, so they had to go in and take them out. And they had been in there for, a lot of years. And it was 2.5 hours trying to get 4 teeth out. Yeah, you know how quick a tooth usually comes. It was 2.5 hours. And I wasn't unconscious. I'm just laying there, and he's literally sweat is dripping on me from him and the nurse trying to get my damn. And I was like, man, after all that, I ought to get to keep one. They're like, no, we got to send them to the wherever.
Mine were fused to the jaws, so they were like, we can't pull these.
Well, they had to cut them. They had to go down to the. They had to go down and drill them out of. That's what it took so long. They had to go down and drill them out of my jaw. They broke off when they tried to pull them, so they had to go drill the rest of the shit out. It was bad. It was brutal, man. It was rough.
Damn,
it was well. They gave me the option. They were like, we could put you completely under, like surgery, for an extra $800,000 or whatever it is, or we'll shoot you up and pull them out like you normally pull teeth. And I was like, well, shit, shoot them up, pull them like you normally do. About 30 minutes in, he's like, oh, man, we might should have done something different here. I'm like, well, we're in it now. Might as well get there.
Too late now.
Man, that was crazy, though. But, yeah, they won't let you keep your pieces parts. Not where I've been, anyway.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I have not had too many surgeries. I've had hernia surgeries, and that's it. And my teeth were extracted. That's it. I got real lucky.
Oh man, I've had a bunch of surgery. Well, my leg and my back, are most of them. I had my thumb put back together one time too. I don't know if you can see the scars on it, but
Mm.
um, there's a bunch of them on it. The tendon that hooks to the bone that makes your thumb work got ripped loose with a piece of bone attached to it. Went back up in my arm, so they had to go grab it, pull it back down, and then pin it all back together.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was before I really started breaking stuff good.
Then now you're experienced.
Yeah, then I shattered my leg and it was dislocated and pointing 180 degrees in the wrong direction in my ankle. And then both the bones were spiral fractures all the way to my knee. It was gross. It was ugly.
My friend was out riding his motorbike out in the desert. He gives me a call. He says, "Come get me." I'm like, "Oh man, okay." I get out there. His foot's facing this way, and
That's what mine looked like. It hurt.
I said, "We got to go to the hospital." No, just take me home. I'm like, "No, we got to go to the hospital. You're in shock." And I'm driving him home. I'm like, "You got to go to the hospital." And he's like, "Nah, we're about to his house." Yeah, get me to the hospital. I'm like, no shit.
Finally done.
And
Yeah.
and then I took him up there and I said, my buddy needs to check in. His foot's on sideways. And they're like, just sit down. I'll be with you in a second. And all of a sudden somebody comes out and looks and they run to the back and I see him go like this.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's like the blood flow might be a problem.
Yeah, they finally got him in the back. I'm like, shit.
Man. Man, that night when I went to the hospital, it was early in the morning. It was after work. We were at a friend of mine's apartment, and we were just kidding around. We were just horsing around, and we fell. And my foot, I didn't have shoes on it, stuck in the carpet, and we fell kind of awkwardly, and it just shattered. And my wife came over. She wasn't my wife at the time, my girlfriend at the time, well, fiance at the time, but she comes over, and her and Mike take me to the hospital. And so they try to. My ankle was dislocated and all the bones were broken, but they were trying to pop my ankle back in place to make it at least more comfortable. So they put me under to do that, and they couldn't get it all back in place. And it so happened the same surgeon that worked on my thumb was at the emergency room that night, Dr. Tappan. He was an amazing guy. He passed away a few years ago. But Dr. Tappan, the next morning, I didn't have insurance. I'd left LSU. I'd started working at McGuire's at the bar, and you had to be there 6 months to get your insurance, and I'd been gone from LSU for 7. So I had a 1 month window where I didn't have insurance, and that's when I broke my leg.
Oh, isn't that the way?
I had almost $500,000 in bills after 4 years. I had multiple surgeries, and then they finally had to fuse it. I even had an Achilles extension where they severed my Achilles, cut it in notches and lengthened it and sewed it back together, and then put my foot in a cast under pressure for 8 weeks. It was excruciating. And my foot swelled up. I had to go to the emergency room. They had to cut the cast off. It's crazy. But in all of that journey, it was like relearn to walk. Rehab, then another surgery, then you start over, and you rehab, then you start over. And then eventually my foot shifted and wasn't lined. Arthritis was so bad it wasn't even lined up with my leg anymore. So they just had to fuse it ultimately. And that was about a 4-year process. But it was just one of those things. I had played rugby. I was still playing rugby. I was playing for Pensacola at the time. I had played for LSU. And I even stopped practicing. I stopped practicing for that month just in case. And I was just goofing off with a friend and fell and shattered my shit.
That's it. That's what happens. It's never like a dangerous thing you're doing. It's always something silly, And oh man.
But that's how I ended up on here.
Yeah, there you go. Everything happens, right? And it connects to something. So
my unit at the 706, I was in New Orleans working on fighters at the time, and shortly after my leg got broken, they started doing rotations to Afghanistan and Iraq. So I could have gone and done a bunch more tours over there, and that would have been great. So I got out of that. I don't know. Murphy's Law. That's right, Dirty. Absolutely. BT, man. Dirty, it's good to see y'all. I appreciate y'all coming through here. We're going to try to do this. We're not going to try. Ash and I are going to do this every Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to be over here on Favorited. We're going to do Low Orbit Lounge. Just going to kind of be hanging out with our buddies. Next week, Zach and Chip will be doing. We're going to be doing some skits. We'll be trying to do just some fun stuff. This is just a place to do kind of after hours, kind of have a little fun. Yes, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock for sure. And Dirty, thank you for helping us get it all set up. Dirty came the very first time we did a live, man, and he was giving us some instruction. You were here, you know.
Yeah.
Well, man, I don't know. We don't actually have a time limit on anything, and I don't have anywhere necessarily to be. But we figured we'd do an hour to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And we're going on almost 2 hours. So I still enjoy your company, Ash. I'm not sick of you yet.
Oh, that's a shame.
You were really hoping, huh? You were really hoping you'd wear out your welcome.
Dirty said, I just got stoned. You guys did it all.
Heard that, Dirty. Glad we could help, man. Show the gnome again. That's a creepy ass gnome right there, man. Golly. I think it's the pointy hat sticking straight up too, makes it a little creepy.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
It's broken.
Figures. Figures. He's probably poking at places it shouldn't be. A Viagra gnome. So, Eve, I think you'll be safe over here, it seems like. I mean, Ash and I aren't too rough. I know you like a little rougher crowd, but maybe you can get by with just me and Ash.
She could tone it down a bit.
So, Ash, are you going to be doing any lives from any platforms here in the next few days or anything you should tell folks about?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure yet. I know I'm going to be doing Wednesdays on TikTok from 4 to probably 6. So 2 hours, but that's mountain time. So Tuesday.
So that's 2 to so that's 2 to 4 for me. Right on. I'm 2 hours difference from you. I'm on Eastern.
Yeah, you're later. Yeah. So it'd be.
I'm sorry, I did that backwards.
It'd be 6 to 8. Yeah.
6 to 8 my time.
Yeah.
Wednesday nights. That's going to be on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, I'm going to be doing it there, and I'm not quite sure about Big O yet. I'm trying to figure out what would work. And it's kind of a strange app,
Yeah.
Like you get 60 to 80 people through, and you're trying to figure out the room and what they want to see and stuff. And it's a little weird, man.
Yeah.
It seems like it's promising too.
So yes, this app is way more lenient than TikTok. It's kind of like Clapper. It reminds me a lot of Clapper, actually, this app.
Yeah.
Or TikTok, without the restrictions.
Yeah.
And I am definitely, I'm definitely interested in this Big O thing. I hope I'm not wasting my time trying to figure out this other shit I've been working on for 3 days, but, heard that, Laura. Yeah, I understand. I can't. I'm feeling that, Laura. No, absolutely, 100% feeling that. Well, we're just kind of like most of these apps. Not Big O. It's one that was introduced to us, but it's kind of a limited opportunity to get in on that deal. So we're going to try it. But I already had. Clapper, a friend of ours was going through chemo, and we would do lives over there, keeping her company, kind of thing. Or I would actually join in their live. I wasn't doing anything. I was just going and joining in theirs. But Clapper and this app seem very similar.
Oh yeah.
And I could totally see us. Well, we can't live stream to this app because you can't get a key for it yet. They're not even. They're so new. They don't even have those keys yet. But like to live stream to YouTube and to Clapper while we're doing the Gin project, or while we're doing a flow state on TikTok or doing a flow state somewhere else, makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and I hear you about trying all the different ones. It is daunting at times, like going, oh man, I gotta go here, and here, and here.
Yes.
It to find the different audiences and get more people interested and find more of our own kind of people,
And I don't want to, and I saw when TikTok that stuff was going on twice. I've seen it both times that the TikTok was being threatened there, that people kind of scattered. And what we wanted to do is make sure that we're in as many places as possible to catch up with them wherever they scatter at.
And that's why I joined Clapper the first time, was when TikTok was threatened the first time. So yeah.
And like Brett Wynn is over there. He left TikTok and went over to Clapper a few months ago now, I guess it's been. And he's still over there, so he must be doing okay. He wouldn't be there if he wasn't. Yeah, Discord. Yeah, we're on Discord too. I've mainly used Discord just as like a way to communicate. Like with Ezra, or today, Wafty and I had Discord open on the laptop so we could talk to each other while we were working on, and he could see my screen while we were working on other shit. But so yeah, Discord has a lot of functions too. Do I have a server? No, I just have a laptop. I don't know. Maybe that sounded stupid because maybe I don't know what a server is, but I just have a laptop and my phone that I use.
Discord group. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry, I missed out. We're talking about Discord. Yes, I believe there is one set up for me on Discord, but I'm not 100% sure. But I am on Discord. You can find the Gin Project over there, and I would accept your link there, Laura, for sure.
I've got one too. I just don't use it very often. Last time I used it was to talk to Ezra. So.
Yeah. Well, we use WhatsApp for that a lot. Like you and I were talking earlier. It's just convenient. It's just been convenient. And the reason I ended up using WhatsApp as a communication source is when we first had Discord, you couldn't use it if you were in a TikTok live because it would mess up your live. But like Chad and I can send messages to each other on WhatsApp and it wouldn't mess up our live. And it's funny because people would never, they weren't able to figure out how we knew what we knew, or that the show was not in fact just a show and tell. It was actually a produced show. And in part it was because we could communicate on the backside and nobody ever knew.
Yeah.
They were like, oh my God, y'all are actually talking. That's how that works. Yes, I'm not a mind reader. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty helpful.
But, right on, Dirty. Right on, Dirty.
Yeah. But yeah, now WhatsApp's pretty useful, especially for my family. We have family in the other part of the world, so WhatsApp's really useful. So
man, it's wild. My wife and I, when I was stationed in Germany for a couple of years and flying around, I would call her every Sunday because that was the cheap day to make a phone call. And we would talk for about 30 minutes, and that would end up being somewhere roughly around a quarter of my paycheck, half of my paycheck, depending on how long we talked. And when I was leaving Germany, because my uncle had done floor covering and I'd grown up helping out, my shop chief knew that I knew how to do floor covering. And every year at the end of the year, there would be leftover money and you'd have to do projects or they wouldn't give you the money for the next year or whatever. That's how it worked in the service. So I put the tile floors in 2 offices. In our hangar, they just built out 2 rooms, 2x4s and sheetrock, and walled off 2 rooms, and then I put the tile floors in there. What those 2 rooms were going to be computer rooms. We actually ordered aircraft parts using carbon paper at the time. You'd have to push down really hard on it, and there were 5 layers to it. That's how everything was ordered. And then my wife and I would talk on the phone once a week. As I was leaving Germany in April of 92, as I was leaving, they were installing the computers, and within a couple months of me being gone, you could talk to someone in real time on camera for free.
Wow.
And that's how much that was the difference. Yeah, I was literally there for 2 years, and a couple months after I left, you could do all that for free. And probably 25 or 50% of my paychecks for 2 years, I would have actually gotten to keep.
I've told this story before, but I don't know if everybody's heard it. When I went to art school, I was going for animation, 2D animation. And I was there for almost a year when Toy Story came out and destroyed the 2D animation world. So everything went the other damn way. I was already a dinosaur before I even got out of school. So I get it. The technology is fast and swift.
Yeah, man. That's wild, dude. I never thought about that. You were a 2D artist, and then Toy Story came out, and it's the 3D gig, and you're now an obsolete, relic. You're a mosquito and a piece of amber.
Yeah, pretty much. That was sad.
Damn. That's wild, man. Well, should we do this again next week? I have a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
I think so. I had fun. Hopefully everybody in here had fun hanging out with us.
Well, how do you get fired before you get out of school? Yeah, no kidding, Dirty, right? Yeah. Well, I really enjoy it, and my plan is to come over here with Ashman every Thursday night, and we're going to start promoting it on other platforms, and hopefully our friends will come over and join us, and it'll be kind of like this, except you can add in some skits and some other stuff that we're going to be doing too.
Yeah.
We invite everybody to come back. We encourage everybody to follow each other. We thank you so much for your help and for your being here. Thank you to all the mods. Special thank you to Ashman, man. I miss my friend, man, but it is much easier with you around, dude. So
thanks.
I'm looking forward to him coming back. I'd have probably been pretty sad, actually, just kind of slogging along. You know what I mean? So, so I'm leaning on you more than you realize, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Lean away, dude.
Yes, man. It is 8 p.m. Eastern time every Thursday night. We're going to be here doing it, and we're going to have some content that is planned for you, and then we're going to have some just topics for conversation that we're going to go through, and who knows what Ash and I might come up with. We ain't no telling. Yes, Chuck. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, sir. I'm going to try to do some flow states from TikTok because I haven't done any, and I've been working on this damn thing. I've been working, but I haven't gotten any actual thing done. I've been running in the same spot for 3 days. So, please turn on your notifications over there on the TikToks. You'll catch us when we go live. Ashman is doing lives again now. Do you have any times when you're going to be on TikTok? Is it going to be a consistent thing?
It's just going to be on Tuesdays for right now. For my time, which is Mountain Time, it's going to be from 4 to 6. So Eastern, it'll be 6 to 8.
Gotcha.
So I'll be there.
So Ashman is reappearing on the TikToks, and yes, the Mickey Mouse that he did was fucking badass, man. It's unbelievable. He looked like he was up to no good, didn't he? Thank you, BT. Thank you. Ash, do you have anything, man? It's your show.
I think I'm good, man. I think it was great seeing everybody over here and getting to cut loose a little bit and hang out, and glad Zach and Tipster stopped in and hung out, even though disappointed they did not get their shit done.
I know it. It's going to have to be twice as good next week.
There you go.
But how cool is that, man? Those guys and others in the chat. We got a bunch of people that'll be coming up involved. So, and we got a lot of guest spots coming on the GIN project. Since we know what TikTok's doing, I'm going to go ahead and start scheduling guests. So Ashman will have the list here in the next week or two. So we're going to get back to doing guests. We're going to have the spot appearances set up. So hopefully all that'll get set up, and then we can kind of get back to working on things, and it won't be such a scheduling frenzy and phone calls and all of that. So
Yeah. Yep.
thank you, everybody, so much. This is my dude right here, Ashman. And we're going to say we love you, Chad. We're looking forward to you getting back. Hope your pop's okay, brother. But we love you, man. There's always a spot for you here. Take your time. Do what you got to do, homie. Ashman, thank you, sir. Everybody in the chat, much love, y'all. Appreciate y'all so much, more than you know. Honestly, thank you. Y'all are why we will be able to be successful at trying to build this community. At least do our part of building the community. Y'all are definitely worth it. So, thanks everybody. Have a wonderful day, Ashman, my brother. We'll see you, man.
Night, everybody.
Good night.